Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nilan Novita. Today I'm going to present my assignment. But previously, I would like to say thank you very much to Allah has given to me healthy and a chance to complete my assignment. And then thank you to Allah who still give us the opportunity and healthy to do and complete all our activities with easy. Today, I'm going to present my proposal assignment given by Mr. Idris. As for the title of the proposal that I took is about improving the student mastery of vocabulary through games. And previously, before we start to discuss about my proposal, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Nilan Novita. My student number is my student ID number is 170210002 and 3. Okay. As for the title, my proposal that I took is about improving the student mastery of vocabulary through games. In this proposal, there are 3 chapters. The first is chapter 1 about introduction. Chapter 2 consists of review of literature, and the last chapter is about research methodology. For the introduction consists background of the study. The second is about research problem. Third is about reason for choosing the topic. 4 is purpose of the study. 5 is basic assumption. 6 a research question. 7 is hypothesis. 8 significance of the study. 9 scope delimitation of the study, and the last is definition of terms. For the chapter 2, about review of literature. In review of literature consists, the first is teaching, and second is vocabulary. A third is about games. Fourth is about the types of games. 5 is about why games activities, and then about why the okay. For the chapter 2 just consists 5, and the chapter 3 or the last chapter is about research methodology. In this research methodology consists of the first is research design, and the second is population and sample, and the third is about data collection, and the fourth is instrument, and the fifth is data analysis. For the background, the introduction is about background. Here discuss about background of the study. Discuss about learning English is very important because English has become an international language which is used by most communities in the world. Many countries use English as their second language. In spite of the difficulties in studying English, it's worthwhile to study the language because it plays a very important role in almost all fields of life, such as communication, commerce, economy, politics, education, science, technology, and so on. Here there are many techniques for the teacher to increase the student ability in mastering in English. The teacher has to think how to student master English for their own purpose. So, and he explain that one technique that was used by the teacher is to increase the student ability in English is games, because through games there are so many advantages for student and teacher in learning process. The student can be more motivated and challenged. For the research problem discussed about here, as we know that there are many students is not mastery about language with well. What the factor? Apa sih yang menjadi sebabnya? In here discuss about the research problems. He said that the student cannot master English well because they are lack of vocabulary, the lack of motivation, and games give the solution that games are one effective and interesting technique that can motivate and challenge the student interest to improve the student communicate competence. Yes, I agree, because through games, we student can improve the student master vocabulary, because vocabulary is one of the competencies that have to be taught to the student in the learning of vocabulary. And with games too, we will feel not bored to learn about English. The third is about reason for choosing the topic, and here we can look here. There are several reasons for choosing the topic. There are two. The first is teaching vocabulary through games is effective technique, and the second is using games brings so many advantage for student and teacher, and the last is the research into using games when teaching in the classroom. Okay, for the first is purpose of the study. As for the purpose of the study is to find out whether using games can improve the student mastering of vocabulary. Because we limit by time, so I just explain that important for me. We move to the chapter 2 is about review literature. For review literature, I just discuss about vocabulary and the types of games, and the last is what game activities, because we limit by time. Okay, for vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary. As we know that vocabulary is one important aspect in learning a foreign English. Yes, I agree about that, because vocabulary is one of the most important aspect learning English. A lot of or less vocabulary will affect when you or us want to communicate. Mastery of a lot of vocabulary will make it easier for us to communicate and understand what the other people said. And otherwise, when the lack of vocabulary will make it difficult for us to communicate and understanding what the other people said. So the point by the vocabulary is a lot of or less vocabulary will give effect when we want to communicate and or want to understand something that people said. Okay, for the games, the second is the type of games. We can look at here. There are many types about games. The first is hangman games, and the second is guessing games, word focus games, and the last is about treasure hunts. We can choose what you want to about the type of games that we can want to learn about English. Kita sesuaikan dengan apa yang suitable with what we want. And the why game activities. So in here, explain about why we have to learn English through games. In here, we can look at here. There are some reasons why activities in teaching process games are very important in teaching English as the foreign language. For me, learn English through games is more interest, make me more easier to understand something, to understand about vocabulary, and give me easier to understand what the meaning by the word or sentence when the people said when we use media like games or video or audio. That is, there are many media or technique when you want to learn English, but games is one of the techniques to learn English. In this, there are many statements by Aiden Eros, stated in the Interstitial Journal for nomor 6 June 2000 that he said that language learning is a hard task which can sometimes be frustrating. Constant effort is required to understand, produce, and manipulate the target language. Okay, for the last chapter is about research methodology. Research methodology. For the first topic is research design. We can look at in this research, the reader would like to collect process analysis the data to get conclusion of the research. This research use quantitative research because it will use numbers of statistics. So the research design that use is quantitative research. In this research, proper experimental design with one group, pretest and post-test design will be used. For the population and sample, we have to know what the population and sample. Population is the area in which you are trying to get information. This is statement by Barnes, 1990. Population is an entire group of people or object or even which all have at least one characteristic, one comment, and must be defined spatially and ambiguously. An example is a section of your population that you are actually going to survey. A statement by Milan and Summer say that sample is a group of subjects selected from the population. The sample of this research is the second grade student at enter Tarbiyat Nando. They consist of 21 students. Okay, for data collect. For data collect, this is their second. The first is both the experiment class and control class were given the pretest before the lesson is begun to know the student knowledge of the material that will be taught. And the secondly is Both the experiment class and control class were given the same material but with the different techniques of presentation. The experiment class was given the given techniques and the control class without games. The last step in the experiment is giving the post list to the two class A and class B. Post test giving after the lesson is finished to no student talk. Instrument. For the instrument, the data will be collected through a test. So in instrument, data that collect is through a test. The test will be informed, written test, they are object and easy test. They are pre-test and post-test. The test is arranged according to the material given. Maybe that's all about my presentation about the proposal that I took is about improving the student mastery of vocabulary through games. I'm so sorry if I have do a mistake. Yes, and more, please apologize, right? I want to say thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.